We're very excited to welcome in a guy that's become a good friend of ours, Gus Frerotte, man that needs no introduction, 17-year NFL quarterback, Pro Bowler, and a man who has far-flung relations all over the province of Saskatchewan. How you doing today, Gus?
I'm good, Rod. You look like you're in a lot warmer weather than usual.
Yeah. Went from South Florida over here to Southern California. It's 80 plus some degrees here. Wonderful conditions, by the way, Gus. And if we want to jump right into it, the Bengals are coming out here a few days earlier than scheduled to get acclimatized. How do you feel about the preps from what you know of the teams here for Super Bowl 56 and what they're doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's new to a lot of the Bengals. The Rams have been there before. They probably got good leadership in the locker room. I'm not sure if anyone at the Bengals have been to the Super Bowl before. I haven't looked that one up. There could be some linemen and other people. But when you're new, there's a lot of stuff going on. You want to take it serious. You want to practice hard, but also you want to take in the sights because you don't know if you'll ever get back there again. And so it's a difficult week, but I think they have a leader in Joe Burrow that they can rely on. They understand that he's been in tough situations like that, so I think their prep will be pretty good. And you can't count them out because they beat the 1 and 2 AFC teams, and now they're in the Super Bowl. So if you look at the Rams, I think the Rams have some veterans on that team. They've been there before. I think the coach has been there before, and they're going to have a good week of prep. But, I don't think that any of that matters when it comes to the Super Bowl because I think both these teams, it's going to be a great game. But I do think the spread is pretty good. I don't know if it's going to be that high, but it's going to be a very exciting game.
Well, the more you delve into it, how exciting it is. The Rams, as you say, the pressure on them, all-star team really assembled for this moment against a Bengals team that could you be forgiven for thinking we're just happy to be here? Gus, do you think that slips into their head this week at all? Or they lock it down again? We got one game left, guys. What do you think their approach is?
No, I think their approach is we have this game and we weren't meant to beat the Titans. We weren't meant to beat the Chiefs, but we went into both home fields and did that. Now, I'm sure doing that, they came into this game saying, this is our game. We're going to come in here and we're going to play really well. It's not, we're just happy to be here.
I got to ask you, about the Bengals and a couple of things. One, what you like about Joe Burrow. And two, I couldn't name more than Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the big tight end, 89, Uzama or something. They kind of came out of nowhere. What are the other players on that team that have got him this far?
Well, obviously their secondary is playing really, really well. I think that's a big bonus for them. They have a couple end rushers that get up the field and play extremely hard all game. Those guys, that line, they've done enough to be in a Super Bowl, and their secondary is really good. They've had to cover some tremendous players from the Titans and the Chiefs, and they've gotten the job done. I don't think you're going to see Patrick Mahomes scramble around in the fourth quarter if his guy Tyreek Hill and their tight end and everybody else is covered. He usually gets the ball to the open guy, so I think their secondary did a really good job. And on offense, they've relied on T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, the running back. They've done a great job of distributing the ball. I would say Joe's done a great job of that. And anytime he can get one-on-one with Jamar Chase, that's where he's going with the football.
Now that you say those names, and you reside in the AFC North, so you probably paid more attention to them all year than I have. And because you're in Pittsburgh, your thoughts on the career of Ben Roethlisberger, if you don't mind. People are kind of saying, oh, poor Ben, that he had to go out this way. And I'm thinking, he had a pretty charmed career, which he earned. What's the story in Pittsburgh on Ben riding off into the sunset?
Well, I think everybody kind of expected it, but also everybody's going to pay tribute to him for all he's done for the city of Pittsburgh and how long he's been here. If you go back and look at the history of the NFL, there's not many guys that have stayed at the helm of being a quarterback for the same team for their whole career. Ben has done that. He's done an exceptional job of trying to, be a winner. And I think he's done that every year. I don't know if he's ever had a losing record, but, he's put his heart and soul into that team. And so I think the only thing when you can say is poor Ben is that Tom Brady retired the same year as he did.
Yeah, slightly overshadowed. Yeah, exactly. And when you say that, Gus, when I think of you as a Redskin, but you had your stints with the Lions, the Broncos, the Vikings a couple times, Rams, Dolphins. Would you have liked to have stuck around in one spot, or did you like the fact that you move around and experienced a lot of different organizations?
Well, I think a lot of players would love to stay with one team. But today, with free agency and everything, that's kind of almost impossible. We rarely see that happen anymore. But I would have loved it. I mean, that means I'm not moving my family around. We're in the same house. Just being that would have been great. But, moving your family all over the country 7 or 8 times is also fun because your family gets to meet a lot of people. You get to meet new teammates. But, there's different ways to look at it. I could tell our kids that, hey, you've met so many people, you have friends from all over the country, rather than just growing up in this little bubble. And so I think it's been good for us, but it would also have been good if we could have stayed in Washington, D.C. my whole career.
Just a couple quick ones. The name Commanders. I'm a huge fan of the name Commanders. I do a lot of work with the military in the mental health field. They love it. The military people love the name Commanders. As alum that you are, how do you feel about it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it has to grow in a lot of people. I think that the commander is a good word. I think that's great, and we have to see how that fits into the football team. I think that we're going to try and figure out. I've been watching a lot of Mandalorian, and they call him Mando, and it's like, okay, are they going to call him Mandos now? I don't know. So there's going to be a nickname that comes out of it, but I think they're doing a good job of publicizing it, pushing it, getting it out in the media, and it's just something that's going to be from now on, and I hope it works out really well because they're going to have to do a good job of selling it, the Redskins or the Washington football team and Dan Snyder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no kidding. And do you have a Super Bowl pick, Gus? I'm not going to get fancy with a line or anything like that. Do you have a straight-up winner of Super Bowl 56 here on the opening day of the week?
Yeah, I think that, what we talked about earlier, and you said it, that, the Rams put this team together. It's a really good team. It's made of veterans. They're supposed to win. If we're just going straight up pick, I think the Rams are going to edge them out. But I think that if you want to do a line, then I think the Bengals and Joe Burrow will beat that line. I think it's going to be a very close game, and it'll definitely be less than 4-point difference.
Should be a doozy. I just got to ask you how Gunner's doing. I'm just fascinated with the name Gunner, the lineage of that name, and how's your boy Gunner doing? What's he up to these days?
Gunner's doing great. He graduated from school. He's been trying to find a job. He went out and said, okay, I got to do something. So he went out and got his real estate license. So he's going to be a realtor too and trying to figure it out. He Uber drives. Wow. But Gunner, the lineage of that name is just something that we always liked. Obviously, we've met a few Gunners. Sonny Jurgensen's son was named Gunner. There's a couple other people that we know that their sons were named Gunner. And it was something that we didn't want him to be the third Gus, right? I was named after my dad, and Gunner's real first name is Gus. So he's kind of the third, but we changed his middle name, and he likes going by his middle name because my mom always used to call me Junior, and I hated it, and everyone else hated it around me.
Well, he's a go-getter, obviously. Hey, Gus, I appreciate it. Enjoy the game. I know you'll be watching with your family, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
All right, Rod. Enjoy all those parties out in L.A.
Thank you, man. I'll try. Do my best. 15-year NFL veteran, Pro Bowl quarterback Gus Frerotte joining us from Pittsburgh. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of The Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.